Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the cabin. The cold temperatures are still lingering. This is the third day down around in the 20s. That tree, my sister said that there's probably a chance of snow tomorrow. And if it does snow quite a bit, it could bring that tree down on the cabin. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know how much traction I can get with the tractor, but I think I'm going to try to get up there with a cable, put my block and tackle on it, and see if I can't pull some traction to get it pulled over where I can at least cut it and get it down. So made myself an egg sandwich and some tea, and I'm going to eat this up, and then I'll meet you out there and we'll see what we can do about that. Well guys, you can see the tractor I've got parked up here behind me. I've already got the cable through the woods. Got the ladder out because there's no low-hanging branches that I can actually throw anything over. And the woods are so dense, it'd get hung up really if I tried throwing something anyway. But I started to put the ladder up, tie to it. The only thing is, this is so slick because of the snow and the rain before that, and then the sun coming out and actually thawing everything out. I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough traction to pull that top over. The top probably needs to come this way about 6 feet to be able to fall behind this poplar here. So I called the guy that runs the excavator. He's actually at work today. He said that I was right, that it is supposed to snow again tomorrow. It's supposed to start snowing again tomorrow night. So he said that he would come up here tomorrow after work, take that excavator, bring it up here, because I think, you know, with the weight that's involved in that excavator, he could just probably grab it with his bucket and pull without even having to move, and pull enough tension on it where I can saw that down. That way I'm a lot safer. There's somebody else up here in case one of us did get hurt. It's because all factors considered, it's just a little bit on the dangerous side. But I'm glad that it snowed, and I'm glad that it snowed heavy like this, because like I said before, it showed me which trees were a threat to the cabin. So like I said in the last video, when it gets a little bit nicer, probably within the perimeter of the cabin, all yellow pine trees, as far as height goes, if they can reach the cabin, I'm going to cut them down. And then I think I've got some big poplars up on top of the bank here. I was going to leave, but the thing about the poplars are they shed their bottom branches as they grow taller, and just like that one that actually had broken off and landed on top of the cabin that I showed you in the last video, they could pose a problem too. So up on the bank here, just primarily up on the bank, I think everything on the side of the cabin is okay, but just primarily up on the bank. Some of these are going to have to come out, because if they did fall, they would reach the cabin. So, and that's primarily, you know, with a big windstorm or being top heavy with ice or snow. Okay, other weather, I really wouldn't worry about it. But the big wind and the heavy snows like this, the wet heavy snows, they're the ones that actually pose the danger in these big tall trees. So I think what I'm going to do is go down here and start working on the handrail, and then wait for him to get off work tomorrow morning before we go to jerking on this big tree. Well, this is later in the afternoon because I had to go to town and get some like antifreeze for the saw. But then the sun popped out, the clouds broke up, and the sun came out, and this is all the greenery now. It didn't take but a couple hours. You know, all the mountains were just iced over with probably still that much of snow hanging in the trees, and now it's all gone. So if it does come another snow, I'm hoping that it doesn't get too cold. But anyway, I need to get that tree out from behind the cabin there. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we won't have any trouble with that excavator when we try to get it out. So anyway, but it's like the difference between night and day. What I'm doing is I'm draining the tank on the sawmill because I stopped and bought some fluid like you put in RVs to keep them from freezing. I don't think it's really antifreeze, but it doesn't freeze basically, and that's what I've been using in the sawmill for the last couple of years, and it's done a good job. So I'm going to drain this out, put that in there, and then we'll see if we can saw up some handrails, top and bottom, for the porch. I've also got to peel the bark off of all the posts that I'm going to use, so it will be a couple, 2 or 3 days of videoing that process. Anyway, I'm going to wait for this to finish, and then we'll fill that tank back up with that fluid. Alright, this is the stuff that I was talking about. It's RV and marine. I guess it is antifreeze. It's supposed to be good, I guess, down to -50. Anyway, we're going, I think it's a 2.5 gallon. I can't really remember because I just fill it up, you know, mainly with water every time I need it. With a 5-gallon can. We'll see how much it'll hold. There's one. Yeah, I could probably put another half in there. But I'll also save these jugs because they come in handy for used motor oil and things like that. These are actually some of the cedars that came from where I cleared over there, and I had saved them. Let's see if that one's long enough. Oh yeah, good deal. got some more up there, so I think I've got 7 good ones. So I'll take my pick out of those. Because I need 5. That's good. Okay, this one goes. This one stays. Well guys, this is where I about lost the Smoky the other day. After it had rained a full day and then it snowed, I thought I would, walk down the creek like I normally do. And we got this far, and I mean the creek was absolutely rushing. It was probably this deep, and I don't know, for whatever reason, he just came down and he just took a dive right off of the driveway, basically into the water. And then it was rushing so quick that it washed him underneath in the culvert, and he didn't come out on this end. I thought, oh my goodness, there's wires stretched across so that cattle can't walk through there because of my neighbor's, the cattle that he has. And anyway, I'm thinking all the time, I'm starting to freak out, and I'm thinking to myself, this is really deep. How am I going to get in there and get him without getting hypothermia, And I got down off the bank and I looked underneath, and he was right here, and he was going around some of the debris that was down there, and he came out and it turned his tail in that way, and I mean he was digging water, and he kept digging, and luckily we got a bunch of low-hanging trees, in the creek, and he was able to get over far enough slowly to be able to grab a hold of some of the roots with his front paws, and then he kind of hiked his leg up, and he got that back leg up there, and then he was able to come on out. But then he was on the other side of the electric fence, so had to find a spot to bring him through. But yeah, I mean, I was beginning to freak out there, and I had forgot to mention that in the last video, so I thought that I would tell you about the near miss. Wet. You know, it really doesn't matter to them whether that water is cold, whether it's deep or whether it's shallow. They just love that water. When he jumped in the other day, I couldn't believe it because the temperatures were really, really low, and I knew that water was going to be cold, and I was hoping that I didn't have to go in after him. But anyway, this is what they like doing several times a day, so I take them down here and let them spend 5 or 10 minutes, and we're good to go for a couple hours. See if we can get it cut where we need it. Alright. We allowed 5 inches on that handrail. Let's see what we got here. We got 5 inches on that too. So, we were down about 2.5 inches. All right. these two basically, the reason I didn't mill up any more, I'm going to number these because this one kind of matches that one. You know, as far as any curves or anything of that nature. So I don't want to mix these two up with any of the others that I cut. So we've got one done. guys, I tell you what, I really appreciate Jonathan. He actually worked a 24-hour shift yesterday, which wasn't too bad. But we're supposed to get some severe weather, aren't we?
I think about 6 more inches.
Okay, and I don't know if it's going to be wet and really cold, but where it'll stick and then turn to ice, but thank goodness he was able to get that tree down safely. I didn't have to climb it either, but I really do appreciate you coming up here and doing that. And of course, you know, if it snows a lot, you may get snowed in and not have to go to work.
Oh no, they'll make us go to work.
They'll come get you, won't they?
No, they won't come get me, but well, we'll be going.
Yeah, he works EMS, and I'll tell you what, we show up when nobody else will. And we see what nobody else, a lot of other people don't see. And I hope if it does snow bad that you have a good shift, because this is your first day off. Then you'd be off tomorrow.
Work Saturday.
It would still be bad, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it supposed to be like 3 days?
Yeah, but I'm hoping by Saturday it'll be gone.
Okay. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you stopping by and tuning in. Thank you so much for your support on both of our channels. My son, my daughter, and I. And Jonathan, you know, thank you for stopping by and tuning in. We hope that everyone has a great afternoon. Take care. And we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.